Hello, friends. I wanted to share some of the things that I've been going through in the last month and a half. I've been I've been sort of emotionally recovering from a lot of things that happened last month, in the month of December, um, that were kind of heartbreaking. I, well, first of all, December is when it was one of my friend's best friend's birthdays, and he passed away 2 years ago. So that day is always kind of special to me. But this last year it kind of hit me a little harder than I had expected. Um, I had not really been feeling like I had been affected by that grief very much last year, but all of a sudden on this specific date, it kind of like hit me all at once, and a lot of emotion came through. Also in December, I had been realizing there was this uh, sort of uh, person in my life that I realized um, that I didn't want to continue with that anymore. And I had to come to terms with that, come to terms with the fact that that's not what I wanted for myself. And then make a decision to let that go and get out of that. And that was really, really, really heartbreaking too. Um, Also, December, I know for a lot of people, it's a very like reflective month, and you think about your year and you think about the things that you accomplished or did not accomplish. And um, last year compared to other years, uh, at least with my art, I was not as productive as I had been in the past. Um, I'm used to producing a lot of art and having my art out there. And, last year I didn't really get that much of that or recognitions or anything like that. And so towards the end of the year, I was kind of getting down on myself over, um, you know, my productivity levels, and kind of like for some reason making that mean something about my own worth. And so a lot of things kind of hit me at once. And when I had that moment, that it was kind of like triggered by like the grief that I was feeling, but it allowed all these other emotions to come through, and for me to find this sort of sadness that I think I have been avoiding, which is a little weird for me because I'm very familiar with sadness. I've experienced it a lot throughout my life, and it's an emotion that I thought that I was really comfortable with. I actually sometimes kind of love embracing the feelings of sadness and putting some sad music on and letting myself feel anything that comes through. But I think last year I was kind of like avoiding that a little bit, and I only realized that towards the end of the year when I had that moment that all those emotions rushed through, and I became aware of emotions that I had been avoiding. And but the most heartbreaking thing was realizing that at some point last year, and the reason why I had found myself in those situations and how I got to where I was at the end of the year, is because at one point I had um, fallen out of love for myself. I feel like in the actions that I took and the way that I was spending my time, I could look back and see that I was acting from a place of like lack of self worth and lack of self respect. And so having that realization was really hard because not only I was in a good place before with my relationship with myself, I had done a lot of the inner work for many many years, and I was at a really good place, and I thought that that was untouchable. I thought that my self worth was untouchable, and my love that I had for myself, nobody and nothing could move it or change it. And then I didn't realize that at some point last year, um, that kind of was not the case anymore. And so that was a really hard realization for me. And knowing that I couldn't just snap myself back into place, but that I had to like do all the work all over again to get to that place. And I was getting, kind of down on myself about that. But then I realized, no, this is when I have to start showing compassion for myself. This is when I have to practice all the things that I've been studying about myself and not make it worse by feeling bad about feeling bad. And so, also, a part of me, and the reason why I'm sharing this on my art channel is because with that, I also felt like the art that I had been creating was a lot about self love and self discovery. And I feel like because I fell out of it, I feel like I had lost my authority to talk about it. Because how could I talk about something that I'm not currently experiencing? But then I had a few different realizations. I realized that, first of all, that might actually be the best place to talk about it because I'm talking about it coming from someone who is actually going through it. And I can share what's working, what's not working, and what their journey is like. And also because I realized that self love is not really like a destination. It's not like you get there and then you're good to go. You can chill. It's more of a track that you're on, and once you get there, you still have to stay on track with self love. And if you're not there, right, but you decide that you want to love yourself and you start making changes in your life, you already are on the track to self love. So the goal is just to be on the right track. So having that realization, you know, with myself, that I was like realizing somehow I had fallen off of that, but deciding that I wanted to be compassionate with myself and then I wanted to get back to a really good place with myself, already put me on the self love track that I came from. So, um, I when so I've been working on that again, and in the last like few weeks, and going back through like old journals and everything, and I realized it is incredible because I already did so much of this work. Going back through old journals, I found so many resources and concepts that I came up with for myself, uh, to better myself and to improve that relationship. And I can use those now, and they work almost like as a shortcut for me to get back to where I want to get to with myself. And I found that so valuable. All the little things that I had developed that are now shortcuts for me to get there again. Um, and it just gave me this feeling that I want to continue talking and continue sharing it through my art, but also through these kind of conversations. And I have other ideas for other kind of videos that I want to create where I want to share a lot of these resources because I know a lot of things when it came to like self help. I know a lot of things, really worked for me, but I also know that a lot of things that are out there, um, and it works for some people, but some of those not only did not work for me, but ended up doing some damage actually. So I want to share the things that worked out for me and the things that didn't work out for me and why, because I think that I'm not alone in this. And I think this could be also really helpful and valuable for other people too, because I really felt this sense of pride for all those things that I had come up with. And I felt like those aren't things that I should keep to myself. And this is why I'm sharing this on my art channel, because I'm letting you know what I've been going through. And but I want this channel to be not only about art. I do want to continue creating art, but I want the main thing to be what it's what I've always been trying to express. It's about self love, self discovery, compassion, healing, belonging, and I want to continue doing that through conversations and talks like this. So I hope you'll stick around. If you haven't subscribed, please do so that you can keep up with that. And yeah, feel free to stick around and check out some of the other videos that I already have out there. I'm really really proud of a lot of the work that I've created. And so yeah, that's what I wanted to share. And I'm sending you all so much love. Mwah. Thank you so much for listening.